Hello everyone, and welcome back to our hardcore survival series here at Norland. And it has been a little bit of time. I had some appointments that I needed to take care of, but we are back and we are not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right back into the guide. And we are a little bit forward from where we ended. I decided to go ahead and start the next day so that we would continue to follow the style of surviving individual days. So we are now on technically our 14th day. Not much has changed, but I did go ahead and do the trader last night, and I picked up 7 paper, and I spent, I sold 150 wood in order to make back the money because I did not want to drop too far under the 1,000 gold that we're trying to keep. It's not my favorite thing to sell off lumber when we could use this later, but I did go ahead and just do that. So if you want to do the same thing, you can, or you can take the loss on the money and just hope that you can accrue it back later. But basically the reason for this is that we're going to want to have this paper available, and we don't want to risk that the trader doesn't have enough when we need it, but we will need this for a trade route eventually. And hopefully we're going to make our way towards that trade route in this episode. What we're basically doing, we want to upgrade our mill. It's going to take some planks, and it's going to take some lumber to do that. We're going to hit build first on it. And like I mentioned, I think I mentioned it in the last episode, we're going to upgrade our mills first rather than placing a new one, because not only do we get the extra worker on the mill for upgrading it, but we also get a production boost. Total production increases by 10%. So that is going to be a little bit better than just placing a new one. However, it does cost I think it costs additional planks. Let's take a look here at production. Looks like it's actually the same. So I thought that it was an increased amount, but it is actually the same, the exact same price. So that is something to consider. For the same price, you get that total production boost, but it is not necessarily too much cheaper. Now, on the other hand, we basically are just going to kind of wait things out, I think. There's not too much to do on this day. We want to get this mill upgraded, and we're probably going to try to upgrade it to the next level as well. But we don't have enough planks yet, so we may have to wait until tomorrow for that. Okay, now while we are waiting for our productions, we do need to worry about our lords a little bit. Our lords are a little bit unhappy. Miramir, his has been managed slightly just by his love for his brother Radivlad. He likes spending some time with him, so I've been basically just having them spend time together, and that seems to help Miramir out. Unfortunately, it's not helping Radivlad out. We'll check that out in a second. We may end up having a commoner who has a child from one of our lords soon, and that is actually not too terrible of a way to just have children. However, it does give them this negative thought, so it's definitely not the preference. I would really prefer to find him a wife here on the global map, but I am not seeing anything besides non-culture options, so that's a little unfortunate. Now, as for Radivlad, we can actually just give him a reward, and he will either get gold or holy rings from our king, and that is under king and reward. It will be 300 gold, but that is from Silvlad, and I think it comes from our coffers. That's a little unfortunate. I was hoping that it would now come from Silvlad directly, but it seems that it is still from our own coffers. But that will make him a little bit happier, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so we've reached our next development level. There isn't a whole lot that we're going to be able to do with this. However, what we might be able to do, I believe the paper workshop is one thing that gets unlocked for this level. We'll check out the trader whenever it arrives, but it doesn't look like that'll be today. But we will then be able to produce our own paper, and we can use that to fund our paper, our trade routes rather. Instead of having to buy the paper manually every time. And we can even, if we get a whole lot of extra paper, we can turn that into an export. But otherwise, we're just kind of waiting around still. Now, we also do have Otrada here. She is pregnant again, and that is going to be good for us to have yet another child. And otherwise, we do have more knowledge becoming common. So we have the warehouse now, the altar, Rutabaga Field, brewery and moonshine, and road construction. So we can actually sell the warehouse and road construction books the next time the trader comes around, because now that it's common, everybody basically knows it. So we don't actually need to learn it at any point. It doesn't really matter if people die. As long as we keep using these, we won't lose them. Okay, and one other thing, it seems we are getting some allies to Silvlad here, which is actually very good because this is Miramir and Otrada, and they are 2 out of the 3 other lords that we have that could potentially become politicians that could be disruptive to us. But since they are now supporting Silvlad, even if it's just as an ally, that should mean very little chance of any kind of conspiracies or anything like that going up against Silvlad. So hopefully he can reward Radivlad here, and hopefully that will turn them into allies as well, and then he will have his whole family, under his thumb, so to speak. And we do also have the dog merchant. This is one of my favorite things to use, but it is a little bit expensive, a little bit too expensive for us right now, so we're not going to be doing it. But it is very nice because you can buy this dog and give it to one of your lords, and it will keep them nice and happy. And I think it also defends them as well in battle. So if somebody tries to rob them or break into their house or whatever, that can be very useful. So if you have the extra money, definitely do that. We're going to skip it for the time being, though. Okay, now we have begun on day 15, and we have started upgrading our mill now to level 3. It looks like that is, again, the same cost as just building a new mill. However, this is going to be, I believe this is the last time that we can upgrade it. I can't remember exactly. But we're going to go ahead and set down another one regardless. We'll set it... We could set it right here, actually. That might even be better. Yeah, that might be a better spot. And then we just get rid of this road. We might replace that, but for right now, that's probably okay. We're not going to set this one to build first. I don't think we want to get this one upgraded, and what we need to do, we have a lot of excess vegetation right now, so we're going to need to build ourselves another granary. So we're going to set that right here probably. That's fine. And we may even go for a second one, but we won't build first on that one. We will just do it for this one. And then I think it might even be time to build ourselves more rye fields. So we're going to get rid of that carrot field. And as I mentioned, we want to go for a rye field that is one of these longer ones, because this is only 24 squares, whereas these ones are 25. So the rectangular ones are actually a little more efficient per square tile. We're going to place one more of these, and we're going to hit that on build first, and we can just go ahead and get rid of this carrot field now as well. We don't really need it, and we also don't really need this extra section of road. That's actually, yeah, that's not something we need. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Is there anything else? No, we just want to make sure. We have plenty of planks, so it may be time soon to take... We're going to take one person off the saw shed for right now, because we only have, oh, it was one jobless. Okay, that's my bad. I thought we had, one too few workplaces, but we actually have one too many workplaces. So we need to get ourselves this, mill done as well, so that we don't have anybody sitting around without jobs. And otherwise, that should be good for the moment. Okay, now we do have ourselves a strong desire for Silvlad. He wants to go and see one of our neighbors, which is apparently a very big friend of his, and that means that he will be gone, and he currently has woodcutters camps inspections that he needs to do tomorrow. So that means that we're gonna not be inspectable if he doesn't make it back in time. We may have to put somebody else onto his buildings in the meantime, but for right now, we're just gonna send him off. We don't want him to be super depressed. As you can see, he has the obsession with desire, which is minus 36 to his mood. That can cause him to go crazy pretty quickly, so we don't really want to allow that to happen. Stefanomil is in Kriege. Okay, where is this? Over here. And we will just send him... we could have him do a flesh wolf hunt. I'm a little worried about it, though. I don't know if he can get killed when he is off in another... city, but I know he can get killed during flesh wolf hunts at home, and I'm just not trusting his combat skill yet, so we're just going to have him spend time instead, and hopefully that doesn't take him too long. I think it is going to take him until late tomorrow, though, to actually make it back in time, so we'll have to have somebody else do his inspections. And honestly, we're just going to put Radivlad on it. As you can see, he is handling inspections pretty well as it is, so there's really no point. We'll just put him back on these woodcutter camps. Okay, and now we have our level 3 mill completed, and we have our new level 1. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put Radivlad on here, and we'll start upgrading this one as well. And we want to set this to priority, and they have both energized. Perfect. We should start to get a lot more flour coming in now. Let's make sure. I'm pretty sure I already did. We can go ahead and get rid of the carrots here, and make sure everybody is getting their flour. Perfect. And we're going to even increase this again. And we want to make sure we want to probably have a decent little stockpile now of planks, because we are going to be needing them for buildings sooner or later. So we're going to go ahead and click that up to 50. And that should be good there for the moment. We don't yet have enough flour, so it is giving us that exclamation mark, but it will be fine in time. And we're going to hit build first on this now as well. And everything else should be fine. We want to get that rye field. We're going to place another one as well. We want to have a ton of rye. We want to have a ton of flour in the future. And can't tell if a road here is actually going to be too useful, but we're going to do it anyways. And we may even place another rye field here. Unfortunately, we can't place another warehouse right here because of these stone ruins. So we would have to move everything over a little bit, or we could potentially move it up, I guess, like this. It would look a little dumb, but it's something that we could do. So for right now, I think that is good. Okay, so now we do have our next rye field built, so let's go ahead and put Radivlad on that. He is starting to get pretty stocked up on things that he needs to do, so we're going to prioritize these and give them all energized, just making sure that they all have it. Okay, good. And otherwise, we do still have, like, Miramir is getting really depressed. He might actually have a breakdown soon. I don't think that having the dice game stuff going is actually a good idea. At least not for him. We may go ahead and try again, but yeah, it just looks like he's getting too many things stacked up that is making him upset. He's also feeling like he's being neglected by Radivlad. I'm not really sure why that's happening. Hopefully we can just have them spend time, but it's not going to work, okay. It may be time to try to have them Flesh Wolf hunt. They both have spears. They should be okay. I'm gonna try it because we're kind of in a critical zone here where he's gonna end up having a nervous breakdown. I guess he can actually hunt with the priest. Let's try that. That seems like a good idea. And we do have a priest now. This is the Loving Family. So we do finally have a relationship with the church, so we're going to see how that all goes. Hopefully they do not tend to hate us, which sometimes does happen. And otherwise, look at that, a nice little price increase on the rye. I think we're going to sell some of this, get ourselves a little bit of money, and we're going to sell all the way up until the max saturation. Since we just have so much of it, and I don't think we're going to produce the flour too quickly, before we end up producing more rye anyways from our fields. We'll sell that, and we're going to get rid of the road construction book and the warehouse book. And that's probably all there. Let's take a look now. We could go with the temple, but I think we want to potentially start working towards the paper workshop. Being able to self-contain all of our trade stuff is going to be very good for us. The only other thing might be the coal furnace could potentially be useful at some point, but for right now, probably not. We only have Radivlad as the one with the talent on the management, so the chancellery is going to be a little bit difficult right now. So otherwise, I think, yeah, the paper workshop is pretty much our best opportunity. Also, getting the temple would be pretty good. It would be a better place for everybody to worship at than at the altar. But for right now, I think we're okay where we are. So we're going to go ahead and call it there. We'll get 200 gold back, and we get the books that we want. So let's go ahead. Let's have Otrada start learning. And there we go. Okay. Okay, now Silvlad is nearly home. I think he's just a couple hours away. And he finished his task, so now he is a lot happier. Well, a little bit happier. Not a lot happier, but it is definitely an improvement for sure. And hopefully that will continue. So we're going to go ahead and set him back up on these lumber mills once he gets back home. And otherwise, where are we at with everything else? Otrada can't move anymore because she is about to have her baby. and she also wants a reward, but her happiness is fine for right now, so I think it's okay. Miramir is getting ready to go on this hunt. I really hope he can survive it. I think because he is with the priest, who happens to be a very good fighter and has a sword, I think it should be okay. I'm just hoping that the priest himself will actually take the first damage, because he also has that heavy armor on him. So let's see how this goes. But Silvlad is back, so let's go ahead and put him onto these woodcutter camps again. Perfect. They did it. Okay. That should make him a little bit happier. He is now desiring a reward, though. Let's go ahead and just do that, I guess. I don't really want to. Well, we can. And everybody else is mostly happy, so that should be fine. Now, Otrada, actually, I think she gave up her support for Silvlad as an ally, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it should be fine. Okay, and our next rye field has been built, so let's put Radivlad on that. Energized and priority, and we did actually get our first energetic peasants in the population. There's 2 of them, so that is pretty good. But we still have some extra available jobs, so we are going to want to start filling those. We're going to go ahead and upgrade this mill, and we're going to place another one right here. Set that to build first. And we may even want to go ahead and get ourselves another woodcutter's camp. Selling off that wood that we did kind of left us a little lacking. So we're going to go ahead and place ourselves one more. One more should be plenty. Set that to build first. Good. Okay, now because we currently don't have the planks, I'm going to go ahead and hit the ship produced goods now button so that they can get the planks over to these buildings. And we're going to try and push this mill up to level 3 immediately. And we also are probably going to want to make ourselves another rye field, because as you can see, we are actually losing rye quickly, and we may end up wanting to sell more of it anyways. We can't place it here, so we're going to have to place it probably up here. Unfortunately, the fertility is a problem now. Obviously, these ones weren't getting a bonus fertility either. We may want to go ahead and make our way over to this one now, because we can actually put some more housing right here, and we could even put another altar right here if we wanted to as well. But I don't know that the boost is necessarily worth it yet, so we're just going to place this right here, and we'll place 2 of them, and we will just let them get built on their own. Okay, now our next child has been born. Lyrond is our son. Perfect. So we have a daughter now and a son. We're not going to rename them. Let's see what they're immediately good at. Nothing in particular. They apparently have a mental impairment as well, so that's not too good. We're just going to go ahead and educate them generally. I guess we could have the priest do it, because his training skill is so good. That could kind of offset the impairment. However, he could end up becoming a Tanea, which we don't want, so we'll just have his mom educate him instead. Now, the priest is a little upset because he is homeless. We don't really want him to be too upset with us, so we are going to build his home for him. And we'll set that to build first. Now, for the first time, we have gotten this woodcutter's work inefficiently problem, and I actually agree with it. As you can see, the trees are kind of far away, so that's why we're getting that. So basically, the woodcutters have to move way too far in order to actually cut down the trees, and then they cut them down, and then they have to bring them all the way back. So what we're going to do, we want them to actually work directly from the tree sites. So we're going to go ahead and move these over about this far. I would like to go to the south, but as you can see, there really isn't too many there. So I really don't want to move these for the cost of lumber, just to move them again later. So we are going to go ahead and move them over this way. And we're going to go ahead and cancel this now and place it down here as well. I hope it doesn't knock down any trees. It didn't. Perfect. And we can go ahead and get rid of some of these roads now as well. And like that. And let's see, let's strategize. What's the best place to do a new road? This direction? Probably yes, because they'll be coming from the altar. So we'll go back across like that maybe. And it's a little off-center, but whatever. So that's pretty much all we need to do there. We'll go ahead and bring this road across now. Unfortunately, it's a little inefficient this way as well, because there's nothing we can really place in there. We'll figure it out eventually. We're still in the early stages of development, so it's not really too big of a deal. But yeah, that looks pretty good. And now they're a lot closer to their trees, so they should be a lot more efficient again. Okay, and we have finished this mill, so let's put Radivlad on that. Set it to energized, start upgrading it, and prioritize it as well. Make sure these ones are as well. Perfect. And now we have energized on quite a bunch of different things, so we're going to actually take that off of all of these rye fields, because we are actually more interested in turning as much of our rye into flour now as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and take that off of these ones. Perfect. Okay, is that everything? I think it was. Okay. Now, otherwise, do we have it on any of these woodcutters camps? No. And we don't have it on the saw shed. Okay, perfect. So that looks pretty good. Now we have more than enough flour for everybody. We have a good amount stocked up as well. We'll take that off of the prisoners. We have 2 of them, so I guess we will go ahead and give them flour then as well. Okay. And we have it on warriors. Honestly, if we end up having unemployed, we pretty much want them to not have food so that they will just, you know, leave if we have too many people. So that's probably okay. And now we want to start thinking about selling our flour. Now, the best one might be over to Kriege, because they are our alliance leader and we want them to be nice and strong and happy with us. So that might be the best option here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to start this treaty now. We could send a messenger for apparently no extra paper. I didn't know that they changed this. But either way, we are going to want to send whoever gets the best price. So you want to always make sure that you're checking. Buy from you 15 flour for their 59 gold, 76 gold. Yeah, so it looks like the messenger basically always takes the best number here. But we're going to go ahead and probably send Miramir to do it. He's not really doing a lot anyways, so let's just do that. Okay, now apparently Otrada and Silvlad are not having the best time together, so we're going to go ahead and do this reward, and hopefully that will improve things a little bit. If not, we may have to force them to spend a little bit more time together and stuff and try to push that back up. We don't want to have her use her fertile years not being happy enough with her king to, you know, try to create more babies, which would be very good for us. The more children that we can have, the better, especially because one of ours is not very good. Our daughter is better, but she's definitely not that good at much besides manners and persuasion, which isn't really the best things to even have. So we are going to try to, for sure, have a lot more children if we can. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start this level 3 mill. Look at that, we got 160 flour just today, so we are doing very good there. We are actually starting to run low on the rye. We'll go ahead and put Radivlad on this one, which I forgot about. We'll set it to prioritize, even though it's not really too important anymore. So we are starting to run a little bit low on rye, but I think once we get this other field, we should be fine there. Emma here is not somebody we're going to hire. And then that mill's good. Okay, so that is pretty much everything that we need to worry about for the time being. Basically, we are set up. We have a lot of extra jobs right now, or extra people, rather. So we do have 8 available jobs. We can just pretty much make more woodcutters camps, or we can just kind of let things stagnate because we don't really have a whole lot else to do right now. And I don't like to just bring our population too high too early. So we'll probably just let this kind of do its own thing, and they can just leave if they want to or whatever. For the time being, that's probably fine, but we are going to want to put at least probably more houses, because right now, let's see, 45 plus the 2 plus the prisoners, so there is probably 1 or 2 extra peasants to how many houses we actually have, so we may want to go ahead and place 1 more house, and we will just do another vertical one, and we'll just put it. We could even actually put it over here by the altar, I suppose. That seems good. And hit build first. Now, we did get the trader again. We're going to go ahead and send Radivlad there. We have that free lord that we're not worried about. Workers have not received their instructions. Let's check that out. So it looks like Radivlad is doing a little bit too much now. We'll go ahead and take him maybe off of one of the mills and put Silverlad on that. We'll just put Silverlad on both of these, actually. And he's already on those as well. That should free him up so that he's mostly up in this area, taking care of that for us. And now Kriege has started their trade agreement with us. So they're going to be buying 16 flour from us daily for 81 gold, which is basically 5 each. Now what's this? Oh yeah, the lords will dislike that a little bit. That's fine. Okay, so we will be making a nice 81 or so gold per day, which is good because we are starting to run low on gold. And we will just have that set to trade automatically. Make sure you do this as well. If you don't want to actually come to the screen every single day and hit, you will have to just click basically here on the agreement to actually have them send the resources. Or in the case of you buying resources, to send the money to buy those resources. You'll have to do that every single day by yourself. So I like to hit the trade automatically when I am planning to actually do trades. So here we are at the trader, and we could potentially sell some rye eventually. For right now, we're just going to see how well we can turn it into flour. We're going to be teetering back and forth between having too much and too little rye, so for right now, we'll just keep it around. There's nothing else I could see buying except maybe beer, but we might start going on creating our own. So we'll buy the hop field and beer, and that's probably all we're going to do for the time being. We may want to sell something to make our money back here, so I guess we will sell just a tiny bit of rye, and that's probably it for the moment. We could even sell these prisoners. I'd like to keep them around for the cheaper labor, but we don't really need to worry about that right now, so we're just going to go ahead and sell these guys off. You may want to keep your prisoners around. They work later into the day, but I think because we have such a huge population right now, we're just going to take the money there, and we do need money right now. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to call it for the day. We do have to get this level 2 mill leveled up. After that, we are pretty much done with our flour enterprise. We can basically just let this run automatically, and we will just be making a lot of money, and we will have plenty of food for everybody to be happy. The only thing that we would do necessarily later is produce some meat, and then we would have meat for everybody, which make them happier for sure, especially the lords. Managing their moods is going to potentially get a little bit difficult, but they are all happy right now. So we are definitely surviving pretty well, I would say. Otrada is pregnant with Silvlad's next child. We also have the paper workshop, which is going to be our next goal. We can have somebody else learn that. Miramir, I suppose. And otherwise, that is going to be it for this episode. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.